Greetings, YouTube. Today we're talking about a book which came out of a film, After Earth, the United Ranger Corps' survival manual. And this is a heavy, thick, hardcover book. It is ridiculously overproduced. It's really good quality for a film that was very bad. There will be I will have hopefully published a video about that film before you see this, but if I haven't, it'll be coming shortly. This here is a removable, but I'll probably be keeping that because it makes it a little more collectible. And I paid almost next to nothing. Here is a card from the publisher. I bought this new for under $5 plus shipping. Then we have the Ranger Survival Manual logo. And then we get into the book itself. Here we have a picture of Will Smith, whose name in the film is Cypher Rage. Yeah, wow, that was poorly done. Earth's Last Days. And it talks about how the Earth just spontaneously ceased supporting life, like a shift in the atmosphere, and suddenly the atmosphere wouldn't support life as we know it, and we all had to leave, billions died, and all this bull. It makes zero sense. Absolutely no sense. When I did my talk about this in the video that you will someday see or have already seen, I was unaware that M. Night Shyamalan, or whatever the guy's name is, had been director of this, which explains so much about why it was so bad. Now, one of the reasons I love these things is I love these kind of illustrations. These kind of sketchy stuff that reminds me of Sid Mead, things like that. I love these kinds of illustrations. I really do. And that's why I wanted this book. Here we have ships launching into space, saving humanity. Here we have a timeline. This is actually this is a timeline that folds out, which talks about the first 1,000 years after Earth, which I thought was kind of absurd, but you gotta be careful when you fold it. Here we go. This is more of the diaspora of humans fleeing the planet. We have the Nova Prime, which was the planet the colony that Will Smith and his son Jaden Smith were on. That shows you the kind of architecture they use, which is kind of interesting. I like having alternative styles of architecture and things like that. And then again, I like this style of sketch. Here we have these large structures. Why they're this shape, I don't know, but it makes sense to them. Large picture of a valley. The Primus and the Savant, which is like part of, I haven't read this thing page to page yet, but apparently it's part of their political structure. This was actually attached with glue, but it's a stickers of so you could put stickers of the badges of the, I don't know, don't ask me. Here we have some of the troopers. The core principles. Remember Earth. The cutlass is a reflection of the ranger who holds it. Danger is real. Fear is a choice. Root yourself in this present moment. Preserve humanity. This is silly because they use hand-to-hand weapons, and this is a lie. Fear is not a choice. What you do with fear is a choice. Anyone who tells you this is selling you something. Fear is part of us. It is what we were wired for. So don't listen to anybody who tells you otherwise. And there we have, again, another lovely shot of the stoic Will Smith. Forever disappointed that he hasn't won an Academy Award yet. These are some of the scenes from both the film and from production shots. Here we have some vehicles that were used, I believe, in the film, that some of them were probably just developed in sketches and never necessarily used. This book is a nice way for the pre-production materials that never got used in the film to be shown and hopefully turn a profit. This here is a letter, which is you're supposed to be able to fold out and read. Ranger uniform and equipment. And this is a transparency. Fold up to see the person underneath it, and you can fold it back down, which is kind of nice. It's kind of cool. It's an interesting thing. And here we have the saber, and then we actually show missile weapons, which they don't use in the film. Here we have a nice sketch of the wingsuit, which you see here. This is a communication device. And here we have a universal air filtration gel, which was, again, silly. Then we have a beacon, which was key to the film. And here we have med kits, which are designed to help the person to overcome, in this case, an allergic reaction. And here's a medical scammer in use. And here this is a whole lot of section on this particular weapon. It's called the Cutlass. It's a hand-to-hand double weapon. I mean, a lot of this book is dedicated to it, and that's fine. I have no problem with that. I have spent hundreds of hours of my life designing and sketching weapons, so I can appreciate you want to show off all the hard work that you came up with, but it's dumb that you're with war with a bunch of aliens and you're not using missile weapons. You don't use hand-to-hand weapons. That is not your main method. And again, this is another note that comes out of the book. The Skrell and the Ursa. Now again, if you're an alien and you know that your enemy lives on a planet, you just drop rocks on them. You don't drop bioweapons. It's a waste of your time. Rocks are cheap. And then we have some alien ships, and they're terrorizing humans. And here's one of the alien's faces, which is unattractive. Here's a cage that the alien was in. Here are some sketches of what the alien looks like. Here's some more. I believe these are actual stills of the CGI used in the film itself. And again, handy way to use pre-production material. Here we have some ships. I believe that was an early ship, the kind of thing that might have left Earth. And then these more sleek models are things that were developed over time. They have some kind of jump drive, which of course violates everything we know about physics, but that's beside the point. Then surviving on Earth. And they talk about all the horrible things, these animals that have evolved to hunt humans, except if humans are all gone, they've not evolved to hunt humans at all. In fact, after 1,000 years, they have absolutely no memory of humans, and that's just silly. So we have a giant condor, bigger than any condor ever in the history of the world. We have baboons. Oh, I think did I skip the lions? Yeah, the lions are in here, though they're a slightly different species. And the okapi, which are a South American, warthog, and a flying snake. And let me tell you right now, folks, 1,000 years is not long enough for any of these things to make any kind of real adaptive changes. It just isn't going to happen. And then we have acknowledgments, and at the end there is a fold out which lets you a fold out, and that tells you something else about the film. I can't remember what it was. Or technical specs, I believe, something like that. Overall, it's a cool book. Again, ridiculously overproduced. They put a lot of money into this, and they did not recoup it. Again, I bought a new copy for under $5. Does it say on this what it actually cost? Yeah, this is a $40 book. It's a $40 book. I paid $5 for it new. It was still shrink wrapped when I got it. All the things are included. It was still the stickers were still glued in place. So this was not a good gamble from the producers of this film. But it's a neat inclusion into my collection, and I think I might actually have the ability to use some of this information in a role-playing game, and as an illustration in a role-playing game. But again, if you haven't seen my video about this film, watch it, and if it hasn't come out yet, watch it when it comes out, because I really do go into nauseating detail about how this thing is really done.